know, right? That's what we were just talking about. Okay.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Chris Woolley, and I'm your host for Let's Develop. And we are going to have a lot of fun today. We've got a good friend of mine, Renee Gage, that's going to be presenting on B. So you can help find your path and find some guidance and just be absorbed by her great spirit and attitude. So we're looking at stuff. So we're going to have a ton of fun with Renee today. If this is your first time joining in, welcome. This is Let's Develop. It's a webinar series, and we meet every other week. So every 2 weeks, we bring in some crazy talented photographers from across the nation, and they just share information with us. It's in a compact 1-hour format, and we just have a lot of fun doing it. If you happen to miss the last episode, you're going to want to watch the replay on that one. It is live on ACI's website. We had Colby come in, and he was talking about real estate photography using off-camera flash, speed lights, that sort of stuff. The replay is live, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. And a big thank you to ACI, American Color Imaging. They've got some awesome prizes and a really, really amazing special. If you stay towards the end, we're going to be giving away some prizes from them, and I'll let you know about what that special is. So let's check out Renee now. So, hi, Renee, you're live.
Hi, guys. How are you? Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Yeah, so for those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting Renee before, she is a crazy talented photographer and just this awesome, positive person. Like any connection that you have with her, you're just smiling. You're like, oh, she's fun. And she just puts a smile on your face. I very first met Renee when she was traveling and living in Washington. So she's definitely part of that military family, also a mom of 5 boys. And she's been traveling a whole bunch, I think, like 13 times over the last 20 years or so. So she's visited quite a few cities and gotten to know a lot of people. She's a master photographer, photographic craftsman. I've gotten to work with her even more through the American Society of Photographers, where she's our head ambassador. So if you want to know anything about ASP, Renee's the girl that you want to be chatting with, because she'll fill you in on all those details. But she's here today to kind of help us find out that B element on it. So Renee, you want to take it away?
I will. Great. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you all for coming tonight. And a special thanks to ACI for hosting these great webinars. I think that it's not always the situation, it's your response to it. And so I think over the last few years, really with COVID and everything, there's been these really beautiful new opportunities that we've all been able to grow and connect and, you know, stay connected as professionals and just personally as our friends. We all know it's so great to work with people you love and be inspired by them and be able to reach out and ask for help. So thank you to Chris, thank you to ACI, and really thank you to each of you for making the time to come out tonight for this evening. I always like to start, my program is called Be, and we all have different reasons why we want to be when you wake up in the morning. And, you know, my family, my husband, my 5 boys, my parents, my extended family, my friends, this is the heart of who I am. And this is why I like to wake up. This is why I like to find joy in the world. So this is my family, and we are a military family. My husband's been in the service for 25 years. And like Chris already said, we've moved a gazillion times, and my kids have been the new kid, and they've been the kid to welcome kids. And you know, when you sit in those webinars like right now and someone says, if you could just take a minute to start all over again, how would you do that? Well, I've done that a gazillion times, as well as I know there's a few other military spouses. How many people right now logged on tonight are actually know someone in the military or are married to someone in the military or are active duty or have been themselves reservists?
Yeah, let's put that in the chat if you're tied to the military at all or part of that. We're getting, let's put it into chat. Carolyn and Tim both said yes. Michael too. So we're getting lots of people here. Retired Navy from Lisa. Rita says yes.
Thank you guys for your service. Thank you guys. You know, it's no small feat, but we as a family always like to think of it as our adventure and what's happening next. And so because of the way we like to look at life and live our life, it has given us these opportunities to really grow, become saturated in our communities, and do that quickly because we're not there very long. And so we want to reach out and see. Over the course of time, my husband has been deployed or on debt, just like a lot of people know. And so a lot of times it's just me and these 5 kids. I had my 5th son while my husband was deployed, and we just made it work. We just took advantage of the time and what was presented to us. And that is the same with your lives, whatever your story is, wherever you are in your life. So tonight, I want you to think about where you are right now and then where we can springboard forward. So I'm going to start. I think it's really important to see the body of work that I've created over the last 20 years. These images are not images that I just created in the last 6 months or the last year. This is 20 years combined in, and I hope you enjoy it. It's a few minutes long. And as you're watching my slideshow, I hope that you can take some time to reflect on images that you took in the beginning of your career and work that you're working on now. So just take a minute to enjoy this, and we'll
That was really nice, Renee. Thank you for sharing those.
Yes. Whoops, where did we go? Hold on. Okay.
Oh, Joyce, you're getting back to the slide deck, huh?
Okay, here we go. Are we good? Awesome. Okay, so thank you guys for taking the time to watch that. You know, I look at that and I see 20 years. I see babies that are now, you know, out of college. I see families that have grown, families that have moved, people that have passed away, people that have fought hard against personal battles. And I just think, aren't I so fortunate that somebody trusted me to capture that moment for them? So as we begin our journey, I would like you guys to take a moment to close your eyes. And I would like for you to rewind to the beginning of your career. And that might have been 6 months ago, that might have been 10 years ago, 20 years ago, to somebody who truly inspired you, who supported you, who encouraged you, somebody who pulled you out of a safe space and made you challenge yourself to share your work, to share a new idea, and to really let yourself begin this journey. You guys can open your eyes. If you guys could, if anyone, I would love for you guys to share. It doesn't have to be detailed, but just take the time to write that person's name in your chat box right now.
Yep. So just share with us somebody that's been helpful, a mentor for you.
I know I have more than
Michael
a handful.
Saying John Hartman. I know he's helped a lot of photographers. Monty Zucker.
Yeah.
And Tracy.
That's great.
Don Blaker.
You guys honor these.
Mike
Honor
Busby,
these people who have.
Sterling Hoffman. Yep.
This
Harold
is
Ross.
great. You guys like reach
And
out.
Keith.
Some of these people aren't with us anymore, and some are. If you haven't talked to this person in a long time, it doesn't matter. Make the time this week. So I hope everyone has a piece of paper. So I want you to grab your piece of paper and write down, reach out to my mentor. And I want you to reach out and just say, thank you. I was thinking about you tonight. I'm so glad that you helped me get started because here I am now and this is where I am. Early lessons starting out. I have a friend who went to space and came back, and I was so excited to hear about her adventure. And you know what she told me? She said that it was hard to put your pants on in space. Is that what you expect an astronaut to tell you right off the bat? It's not what I was expecting. And I asked her to explain. It sounds crazy, right? She said, when you get to space and you have to put your pants on, it's really, really hard. But the more she did it, the easier it became. And I really love that because all this training somebody does to get to space, and it's still hard to do that. All this training that we do and we learn about equipment and relationships and processing, it's not always easy, but if you practice this, it's going to become easier and better. And so I know there's something, so I want you to use these early lessons. Another one is bloom where you're planted. Some things you can't control. A lot of things in my life, we just ended up where the Navy asked us to go. And so I could either swim upstream the whole time or find my space to really grow. And I'll give you some examples later in my presentation of how that happens. So wherever you are, take a look around you and see where there's a place for you. And one example is one of my best friends, Fonzie, who lives in Texas. I got to Texas. I immediately took one of his workshops. We became friends, and I sort of evaluated where I lived and the other photographers in the area. And I went in a different direction where nobody was working, and I had the support of these other people. And the last thing, which is maybe almost the most important, is collaborate. Collaborate with those people around you. People want you to succeed. There is no reason for anybody to feel like the world is against them. Find other people who are moving in a forward direction at any pace and collaborate with them. And we'll jump back to that in a little while. Okay, everybody please stand up wherever you are. I'd like you to stand up. Chris, you too, I'm watching.
I'm tied to the computer.
You have to stand up. You're tied to the computer.
I'll just be tall.
And I want you to look around. And then I want you to sit on the ground or go really low. And I want you to look at the same things you just looked at before. All we did is stand up and down. If you looked around the room, it looks completely different because your perspective has changed. How often during the day do you take a moment to look at something from a different angle? That doesn't have to be your subject. That can just be your day. Are you walking into a place and saying hello? Are you opening the door from someone? Are you putting out good energy? What is your perspective when you see something? If someone's garbage can is blowing down the street, are you going to keep walking or are you going to go help them? So that also translates to your work. the world is your subject, but also like this tile is your subject. So if you look at it straight down, it's going to look different than straight on or from an angle. So when you're photographing, these things go hand in hand. Your life, your eye, your lens, your life, it all goes together. So use that to create things that inspire you. You don't have to always don't do what somebody else did. Look at what someone else did that you're inspired by and create something different from that. Another fun activity in getting your creativity rolling is tear sheets. Does anyone do tear sheets? You can do like a quick thumbs up if you've heard of them before.
Yeah, and chat.
It's like
Who's done a tear sheet?
Who's done a tear sheet? Okay, I am a tangible person, so I love magazines. So if you take one magazine and you go through it, and I want you to take a catalog, anything, go through it and rip out pages that you like and pages that you don't like and make stacks of them. And it really will quickly and visually give you an idea of where you're standing. I went through a really monochromatic stage, and everything I tore out that I liked was all monochromatic. All the things I didn't like were things that were like blasted with color and hard lines. So it's a really easy way to help yourself hone in on what your mind is thinking and the process your brain is going through. So don't swim against the space you're in, just go with that space and create in that space. And the other thing is, tomorrow when you are out with your camera or your phone, I want you to like walk or get in your car and then stop 10 minutes into like your drive or your walk, and then use that perspective and bend down or stand on top of something and find something that's been there every time you've driven down that road or walked that walk that you've never seen before. Okay, let's do some photo yoga. This is something that you need to sort of do on your own because I don't think we'll have time if we're in person. So this is a really great activity. I want everyone to write one object that's in your house right now in the chat, so you'll be held accountable. Quick, go. Chris is going to give you like 10 seconds. 10 seconds to write down one object. Are they coming in, Chris?
Desk from Lisa. Carolyn's got some books.
Perfect.
Pam's
Come on, there's more people out there.
Water bottle from Heidi.
A mixer.
A mouse.
Love it. Okay.
From Rita. Or maybe it's Moose.
I love Rita.
No, Moose. I can't read. A pizza plate.
If she had a moose in her house, that would be a kid's book. Okay, so put this on your list of things to do in the next 2 days, okay? And you can send me an Instagram message that you did this. I want you to take that object and put it in one place and don't move it. And then I want you to take 12 images of that object without moving it.
Ooh, that's a fun exercise.
And check your perspective. Okay, this is a quick little exercise. You can do it on your phone, on your camera, whatever you want to do. But do this in the next 2 days and then send me like 2 Instagram pictures on my Instagram that you did. This is a really great practice. This is going back to that practice. If you do it, if you put your pants on space a lot, it's going to be easier and easier. It's going to become more natural for you to think differently about how you're photographing, and take a different lens out of your bag. If you always use your 108, don't use that. Use something different. Use the lens that's hard for you to use. Be present. This one is really big for me. Give people your full attention. Be present who you're with. Don't be like, yep, Chris, thank you. I'm so glad that you invited me here tonight, Chris. No, like, Chris Woolley, thank you for making the time and thinking of me to present tonight. It really means a lot to me. And so reciprocate the attention that you would appreciate and expect someone to give to you. And the connections that you will make with people are unbelievable. If you look at somebody in the eye and say hello as you're walking in to get your coffee, these things ripple. So be really present with whatever it is you're doing. So all those people right now who are maybe like Googling a new pair of shoes, come back to me. Okay.
But they're cute shoes.
Be a good listener. People, when they open up to you, especially when you're in your sessions, they're sharing with you, they're trusting you to capture their moment, to capture their family. So really listen to what they're saying and how they're saying it. This will make your sessions or your subjects be more fluid with your sessions, and they will connect with you and really want you to continue to be a part of their storytelling over the years. And be fluid. Go with it, guys. Chris laughs at me all the time, I think, in good humor about my life. I mean, and my parents do too. I think my mom and dad are out there tonight. Hey, guys. But you guys, just go with it. There is goodness out there. Just take a deep breath and exhale and be fluid. I was photographing a senior and it started raining and I thought she was going to cry. And I just said, it's fine. We can reschedule, but let's just keep shooting right now. We're already here. It stopped raining, a rainbow came out, and we had the most glorious light ever. So go with it. Just try it. Even though it's hard for people sometimes, just try to go with it. Learn at schools, go to any photography school. You guys are already here, so that's definitely preaching to the choir. Bring a friend, read every day, read something every day, quotes, read a piece of history, read whatever you want to, something in there will catch your eye and catch your ear and catch your heart. And the last thing on this slide is exploring your local area. This was really important to my family because we move around a lot. So we have limited time wherever we are. And right now we're in Alexandria, Virginia, and we're not moving. We're staying here. So all of our moving adventures are going to be put on pause for the foreseeable future. So that's a different challenge to me now. Explore here. I can't get so comfortable here that everything just becomes a blur as I walk by. I don't have a limited amount of time here. So go explore. Find a museum you've never been to. Google a trail you've never walked. Go to a coffee shop you've driven by 15 times. Just do that. This is where your collaborations are. This is where your connection is to your community. People live where you live because they love it and they want to be there. Be a part of that. I write a lot to my clients. If I photograph a family, I handwrite thank you notes to the children and I put a stamp on it and I mail it to their house. And I think some kids don't even know what mail is anymore. So it's really fun for them. The parents always comment to me on it. I love to journal for my kids. I've journaled for each of my boys since they've been little, and it's fun for me to reflect and remember. And I give lots of thanks with handwritten notes. To clients, to friends, again, being present and making that time. And I do have to add a side note. This is who I am. This presentation, B, is really personal because it's what I do because it works for me. You guys each have your own ways of living your life. This is just supposed to be just a little inside view on what I think and how I operate. It's very seamless between who I am and my business. My clients are my friends. My friends are my clients. If I haven't met you before and I meet you at the beginning of your session, I am probably hugging you and we might be crying at the end of your session. So I just said all that. Build your business on your personal foundation. It naturally creates customer loyalty. And I love to give back any way I can. If anyone in my community asks for a donation or asks me to volunteer for something, I say yes. I say yes to that. And I always give my clients wallets as a gift. I don't have a lot of people ever buy them, so I think I just took them off my menus. But I order a set of 8 and I keep one for myself. And I have a whole little stack of wallets I keep in a bowl on my desk. And they are supposed to put them. My grandfather had a wallet of me underneath his bedside table. I was 18 months old in the picture he had there. And I was 26 when he passed away. And that same wallet was still there. So I give them to people and I say, you should fold them and put them in your rearview mirror, like your mirror, and you should put them in cookbooks. So find your own things. I would like you guys to really take a quick second. We're going to keep moving along. Everyone needs to participate. Chris will tell me who didn't. So I would love for you to, everyone type one thing that's something new you've tried in the last 6 months. We're going to take 30 seconds to get these.
All right. In chat, something new you've done in the last, 6 months?
6 months.
Last 6 months, something new. Are we talking like new food, a new technique?
It could be whatever. I mean, I was definitely thinking more photographically business related, but okay. I mean, if someone's tried a new food, I would love to hear about that too.
Yeah, Pam's intentional camera movement. I see him. That's hard to do, by the way. Holy cow. I tried it. I'm like, wow, this is a lot more challenging than it looks. Who else has tried something new? We've got Susan shooting a lavender field. Carolyn painting acrylics over prints. Katie's going mirrorless. Wow. Heidi's doing gluten-free, dairy-free for 5 weeks now. Lisa's mirrorless and doing stacking. Overachiever. No, that's two new things. Nope.
And gluten-free. Okay,
Michael's
we don't have to
mirrorless.
read them all. Yeah.
Yep. Ashley's
Okay,
mirrorless.
this is great. So the point is to keep doing new things. If you stop doing new things, you become stagnant. Any forward motion at any speed is really amazing, and that's what you should do. For those of you, you don't have to have already said something, but what is a struggle that you guys have faced?
So a challenge overcoming in the last 6 months. That one's harder, a little bit more personal, huh?
A little more personal, but good nonetheless, because you can grow.
Yeah.
Has anyone, if no one shared,
No,
that's okay. You don't
we're
have to
getting
share
it.
your struggle.
Ashley's taking headshots of herself. Tracy's
Ooh,
teaching
that's
portraiture.
hard.
Susan, off-camera flash.
Awesome. You guys, these challenges, this is what's going to make you stronger and more creative. And this is what's pushing yourself. Even before I got here tonight, my 13-year-old is like, Mom, you're going to do great. And I was like, you know, because you're just with an audience, you're doing something, you're putting yourself out there, but we have to keep doing that. And everyone has so much to share. So keep doing that, you guys. And I say that because we say in our house all the time, life is extraordinary for you. Our standard of exceptional, my daily life that is so ordinary to me is so extraordinary to somebody else. Don't take that for granted. I must say that to my kids like 10 times a week. Like, your life is so extraordinary. Someone else would love to be in your shoes on your worst day. So as we're moving through these challenges, as we're trying new things, you know, you guys have the privilege of being able to try these things and the support to do them. So keep doing them. And it's the little moments that mean the most. It's these little victories, you guys. And I know we're just coming off of IPC. I know that everyone's getting ramped up for imaging, and there's a lot of visual things and emotions and all this stuff. You guys, if you capture something that you love in your heart and you are so proud of, or you run a race that you've been training for, whatever it is these little moments. I mean, my favorite little moment is like standing in my house in my kitchen with my husband and all my kids running around the kitchen, baking and cooking. And I'm like, this is it, you guys. This is why I want to get up every day. And this is the support I have to do what I love and my family. So the next one is to become. So the begin is a little bit easy if you think about it, right? You just have to take one step. Is that so hard? Or you're going to say you're going to do it. But once you say it, here we go. Everyone deserves a hello. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. So my mom told me when I was younger, there was an incident that happened. And my mom said to me, Renee, everybody in this world deserves a hello. Everybody doesn't get to make all the choices where they end up. So my takeaway, I remember this so clearly when I was in the 5th grade, is to be kind to everybody. Everybody has their own things going on personally or professionally. So be supportive of each other. There are friends and people everywhere. As we lead being kind into our clients, it's really important. This, you know, mirrors back to the beginning when we were talking about being present and being a good listener. Ask for what you want and also more what your clients want. It has to be a collaboration. You don't need to change how you shoot or who you are, the type of business you're running for your client. But it is really important, you guys, to take a moment to ask them, what is it that they want? And they don't always know. I do these design session sheets that I send out, and my clients type in, they answer all these questions. If you haven't figured out already, I ask like funny questions like, what's your favorite color? Or if you could close your eyes and go anywhere in the world with your family, where would that be? And I want to know who they are. I want to know what is inspiring them to ask me to photograph their family, because I don't just come in and say, click, 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 I'm done. I want to tell their story, but I need to get to know them. So ask and listen. Accept advice and constructive criticism as you build your business. As you are becoming this business you want to be, or this person, think about what people have to say to you. Ask someone you trust. Ask someone you can hear the good stuff from and the hard stuff, because we grow from the hard stuff. We need the good stuff to keep us going. But that hard stuff, that's that challenge, right? That's that challenge list. The trying something new might be hard, but it might be easier than the challenge. You know, the advice is easy to ask for. The constructive criticism, You want to know it, but you don't want to know it, but you need it. So find that balance. And then the one that is probably the most challenging is to take action. But tonight we are going to get you a list and you are going to take action. This is how I take action. Before I go to bed every day, I pick 3 things in my mind I'm going to do. It might be take a walk. It might be to finish my laundry. It might be to try something new on my camera. You can do everything you want to do. You just might not be able to do it all at the same time, but you get to decide what you want to do and when you want to do it. You're running your life. You're running your business. And again, as we're growing, as we're becoming, like I was talking about with the tear sheets, don't fight what's natural. You have a natural tendency to do something, right? Or if you ask somebody like, do you like this or this? You already usually know what you like. You just are asking someone, follow your gut. Be confident in your decisions to choose and to move forward. And patience is a virtue. You know, we take for granted sometimes how quick things happen in life right now, and Amazon has definitely made us expect everything instantaneously. But be patient. It takes time for things to grow. It takes time for us to develop. It takes time for us to really understand where we want to go and become who we're supposed to be personally and professionally. And again, you guys, these 2 things go hand in hand for me. This seems so obvious, but I did type it up like last year because I just really want to be yourself, you guys. You cannot sustain being someone you are not. You are going to see someone's body of work that you're inspired by, but be inspired by it. Don't copy it. Don't be them. Be yourself. Add your own twist. Use a technique you've learned with a place that's something you haven't seen before, and continue to give and receive encouragement and support. Are you guys feeling me? We're like in the cocoon, we're growing, we're becoming.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked in the beginning about those people who really inspired us in the beginning. And these are 2 of my mentors. Jay Stock, who passed away when he was 92 years old. And I had the privilege of taking my family to go see. He had an exhibit. He had a ginormous exhibit at this beautiful museum in West Virginia when he was 90 years old. I think you guys heard me. 90. I'm not 90. It's hard to put an exhibit together, but he's 90 when he did it. So I encourage you guys to have these mentors who inspire you. My other mentor, Gail Nogle in Texas, has been a dear friend for over 20 years, and she inspires me. She pushes me. She helps me to be creative and to collaborate. And I am grateful for these people. And in turn, I've become a mentor for Emily and hopefully many others. So pass that along. Find a mentor, be a mentor. Your photo friends are right there for you. I mean, we're all here. We're all in this together. What can you do to become, as a quick wrap up? You can go to museums, surround yourself by art, go outside, do photo yoga, write a mission statement, share your art, share your trade, or the possibilities are endless, you guys. So we have begin and become, and our last thing of become is take out a napkin. Does everyone have a napkin or at least a piece of paper close by? I know. This is the napkin list.
The napkin, right? Unless it's dinner time.
I know, but we're calling it a napkin list. Either way. How are we doing on time, Chris?
We're good. We're about 30 minutes in.
Oh, great. Okay. You guys, this is really fun. I want you to take your napkin and I want you just to brainstorm anything that you want to do. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to put you like pigeonhole you, but for your business, we're going to do business mostly. And you can do a few personal items too. But for your goals, what are things that you want to do or accomplish? I mean, that could be as simple as like getting an Instagram account that you've been putting off to applying for your ASP fellowship and every single thing in between. So we're going to take a minute, and I really want you to work hard and write down a list of things in a minute. Push yourselves, because this is where you guys are going to really get to your next stage. You guys have to put the work in here. So I'm going to do it too. Chris is writing as well. I can see it.
Do we want to put into chat anything just so that we can share and inspire others, or keep it to ourselves right now?
Let's keep it to ourselves right now.
Okay.
Chris loves the chat. We'll chat in a second. In 1 minute, we can chat. If you guys have stopped writing, please write 3 more things.
Just 3 more. Okay.
So if you think your list is done, it's actually not. You have to write 3 more things. Okay, we're probably about at our time. If anyone would like to share anything on their list, that would be amazing. And then Chris, he loves to read your chats. So we would definitely want to keep Chris happy. He loves the chat.
So put one of your favorite things in chat. That way we can all share together.
I so wish we were in person. It's so fun. Then you can stand up and read in front of everybody.
This one's a little bit friendlier. You just have to type.
I'm just kidding.
I'll share one of mine. I want to explore my state more. It's such a beautiful area, and I don't get out enough and explore it, so I want to start doing that more.
Awesome.
Heidi wants to work on a scholarship for Texas school. Tracy wants to do more character study images. Kimberly's going to finish her website redo. Been on the list for 2 years.
All right, let's get that off that list for you. Okay.
Ashley
this is great, you guys.
Backpack more and backcountry photography. Michael wants to take different road trips that are local. He's starting to do that already.
It's great. Okay. Do you guys see how these things all connect together, personal and also for your growth as a photographer? So now take your napkin and make 2 columns. And one column is going to say 1 month to 6 months. So 1 to 6 months. And the other column is just going to be called long-term. And I want you to take a really long list that you wrote, and I would like you to write 3 things on your 1 to 6 month list. So someone said they've been working on their website for 2 years. You're going to put that on that list, and then I'm going to get your name and I'm going to call you in 6 months for your new website and log on. So this is our action. This is our immediate action. In 6 months, all these things, these 3, not all, but 3 things that you are going to do in the next 1 to 6 months that you're going to accomplish. Are you guys writing it down?
Yeah, Kimberly's got the shock face. She's like, uh-oh, Renee's going to call me.
I am going to call you because you want that done. People need to see that, and you need to get that off your list so you can do something else. I mean, they always say like death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's like death by 1,000 open tabs. Close them up. Let's move on. There's other stuff you should be doing and can be doing. Okay, so then your long-term list. Take 3 things from your list. And if you don't even have 3 long-term things on your original list, come up with 3 long-term things that you want to do. These are things that are going to take you longer than a year to accomplish. This could be, 1 to 10 years out, right? Like someday I really would love to work on my fellowship for ASB. But I know that that is not happening right now. That does not fit in with my life and where I am right now. But that is on my long-term list. Okay. Today is September 14th, 2022. So I want you to sign your name on the bottom of this list. I literally am going to hold you guys accountable for this. Chris is going to we're going to email everyone who is here tonight. Okay. And then I want you to put the date and sign your name. And then you're going to stick this in your computer, you're going to tape it to something, you're going to put it under wherever, and you're going to come back to this. And everyone should take out their phones and put an alert for 6 months from now to say, did you finish your napkin list? We should do that. Everyone should do that for sure. Okay.
Barbie,
do you guys feel good about this?
Yeah.
You guys have to take action on this. I love that you guys are all here, and I want to share all these little tidbits of why I love life and I love my business and I love our adventure. And I want you to do that too, but I really want you to leave here being prepared to take action on these, especially on this 1 to 6 month list. And I want you to continually be inspired by all the things that are on your long-term list. Is everyone giving me a thumbs up? Are we doing this? We're doing this. You guys can do this, okay?
Got it.
All right. All right, we are moving along. Okay, so thumbs up. Okay, you guys are amazing. I really will get all your notes, all your things. Okay, so because we move around, because I grow where I'm planted, because I like to collaborate, because I want to saturate myself quickly into a community, and I want to be a part of where my kids are, and I want to know the people that are in the military, and I want to see all these awesome states we live in and meet cool photographers. I got to Texas and they had a really solid fundraiser already going for the school. And I tried to figure out how I could integrate in what they have going on. And they had such a solid plan that I thought, I don't think that's my space, but how can I add on, right? What is something I have that I can bring to the table? And so I had met my friend Laurie, who lives in California, and I was just at imaging. She was standing behind me when we got our masters, and she was telling me about this portrait project. Has anyone heard about the portrait project? I'm gonna tell you really quickly. Has anyone said? Okay, so you do these portraits. So basically this family, so Chris would, if he had a child in the elementary school where I was at, he would say, yep, I'd like to make a donation to the school. And so I would photograph these kids. You can see here on the right, they're all in black and white. They're all in 5x5s. And I go in and after 8 years, I think I photographed like almost 300 kids in 2 days. I go and I do this. And the school gets 75%. I take what covers my expenses. This started because they already had everything established. The first year, I think we raised like, I don't know, maybe like $2,300. Last year when I went on our 8th year, we raised over $15,000 that the school got in hand. $15,000. I've gone back every year for 8 years. We don't even live there anymore. I feel like this is my way to pay it forward for all the military kids or all the other families that are going to move there and their kids are going to this charter school because our charter school is funded at a lower level. So you guys, this is so fun. I love going. I am invited and welcomed back every year when I go. And so over 8 years, I mean, we've photographed how many kids? 2,000 kids at least. I mean, I know it's 24 if you do it that way, but it's got to be 2,000 kids photos that we've done and raised $70,000. They built a new school. I look at that school and I think these families, because of my passion for photographing kids, helped raise money to build this school for these kids. So find a project that you like. And now people ask you to say like, I didn't do it for this, but people are like, will you do our family pictures? Can you do this? Because you're involved. This is another sample of what they look like. They're super simple and I can get anyone the information. I had someone try it for pets up here in Virginia, actually. All right, believe. Let's get on to believe so we don't run out of time. So we have begin, become, believe. This is one of my favorite quotes. What if I fall? Oh, my darling, what if you fly? I always believe you're going to fly. And you should believe you're going to fly too. And you might not always fly how you think you should or where you think you would, but it's there if you're willing to let it in. Right? We talked about in the beginning, the people who believed in you when you were starting. We talked about perspective. We've talked about growing where you're planted. We've talked about putting yourself out there and exploring where you live and your communities. We've talked about giving back. We've made lists. You guys have 3 lists of things that you're going to do so that you can fly. You guys have to do this yourselves. You have to say, I'm ready to do this. This is going to happen. I'm going to make this happen for me. Whoops. Okay. This is a super fun story. This is my friend Gail, and we studied with Jay Stock. I studied with Jay Stock for 5 years, and I am so honored that I had the opportunity. I was his last student. I was his youngest student. And to be able to have this opportunity to spend a week every summer with him in Maine really made a huge impact on my storytelling perspective in my work and over 20 years in the body of work that I've created. So we were at this farm, and for those of you who know Gail, she has a vision and she wants that to happen, and she's going to make that happen. And this was my first year, and I was super new and really young, and I didn't know anyone really well. And all these chickens are running around this like antique farm in Maine. And she's like, pick up the chicken. And I was like, what? She's like, just pick it up, pick up the chicken. And I was like, okay. And I just grabbed it. I've never picked up a chicken in my life. They're really bizarrely hollow and odd, and they kind of stay really still and they want to get away. We laughed so hard, and she's taking a picture of this chicken, and it's like literally almost like pecking at her lens. And so this just became our thing. Pick up the chicken. If you were hesitating on something, pick up the chicken. What are you waiting for? It's right there. Just pick it up and do it. And I know that I have a long list of things myself that I just need to do. And I don't want to assume, but I believe that I am not alone in that arena. Is that true? Do you guys have things you're kind of sitting on? You're like, I'll get to it. Or I don't know how that'll turn out. Or I'm not super comfortable doing that. Pick up the chicken, you guys. Just do it. It feels so amazing.
We need that.
And so now pick up the chicken. I know, seriously, this picture pops up on my Facebook every year. I repost it because it's totally my favorite ever of us. So pick up the chicken. Okay, wait, bring your papers back out. I forgot the part of believe that's really special. Through lines. I believe that through lines are words and acts and emotions that are in everything that you do. This is where in the beginning I told you that there's not a lot of separation between myself personally and my business. It's really woven together. And so if you guys can take a moment to write down a few words that you feel like you put in everything you do. My through lines are love, kindness, and gratitude. I love my family. I love the people around me. I love the people that I get to work with. We talked about kindness. I just think that it's so important. Everyone deserves a hello. Be kind. See people who they really are. And the gratitude, I wake up every day grateful that I get to wake up, that I get to live this healthy life, that I have 5 healthy children, healthy parents. My husband and I have a healthy marriage. And I'm also grateful that people trust me. They trust me to capture their families. That's really personal, you guys. When someone says, will you photograph our family? They're asking you to come into their little slice of life and to preserve that in a second. If anyone would like to share any through lines, that is really beautiful. I do think these are really personal. So even though I made you put your napkin list out there for the world to see, I wanted you to be a little more accountable for this.
Kimberly,
but if anyone has any
love, grace, and empathy. Carolyn saying empathy and love.
That's beautiful. Keep those things alive in all aspects of your life.
Heidi, integrity,
in your personal life.
And love.
Why would you separate those, right? That's why it's a through line. It goes through everything you do, every person you meet. All right, should I move on to the next slide?
Sure.
Yeah. Challenges. While you are believing in what you're doing and you're passionate and you're moving forward, there are challenges. These are some challenges for me, not to fragment myself. Everyone wears a lot of different hats, right? I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a mother, I'm a photographer. I am a storyteller. Oh, wait, I'm also a business person. For me, photographer and business person are different, even though they're connected, and it's both Renee C. Gage photography. So how do I do that without fragmenting myself? Compress the things. I did a writing exercise once, and sometimes I can be a little long-winded. So if you take the things you're saying or thinking and pull out those key words or actions and focus on those, then you will be able to get to your next step. You'll be able to grow more in your become stage. And the last one is balance. I love when I heard what you guys were sharing before about hiking and going someplace, exploring a new place in your state, trying different kinds of foods. Find that balance with your work. Your work is inspired by your heart, which is inspired by your personal life, which is all woven together. So the balance is really key. Do the things that inspire you. Travel. If you travel, you'll be inspired and maybe create a new body of work that you wouldn't have. I have every state we've lived in, I've created a body of work for me personally, not to show or share with anybody. And over the years, these collections have come out and been in art galleries and been on exhibit. They've been at the Capitol. They've been at Epcot Center. So create something for yourself, but wouldn't it be neat someday if what you created, someone else wanted to see also? Lastly, one of my sons says, say yes and see what happens. It's definitely become a tagline in our house. I mean, we're sort of like, why say no? If we can make it work, we'll make it happen. So I love collaborating. Like it is like, I want to collaborate with my family. I want to collaborate with you. I love collaborating with Chris and ACI tonight. So in my community, of course, I want to collaborate. I love to shop local. During COVID, I did, like a lot of you might have done, the Front Steps projects, which ended up turning into a lot of people to call me later. One of my favorite things is before I moved here, I also have these visions in my mind of things I want to do. We were living in Washington State. My husband was deployed. I had a newborn and 4 kids. I broke my foot. My mom came to visit. And I was like, when we get back to Virginia, I want to meet everybody in all the small businesses in Old Town. Okay, that's a tall order. But I was like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go photograph them and do a write-up and then give them their photograph, right? I got here, I was asked to be in the Scout Guide. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Scout Guide. So I am the only photographer featured in our Scout Guide, Alexandria. That led to me photographing for a small high-end women's boutique in Old Town, which led, because the woman who owns that is also the editor of Alexandria Style Book, which is a international blog and Instagram account. And so now every other week, they highlight a local business or someone locally who is contributing to our community. And guess who gets to photograph them for their street styles? Me, you guys. It's so fun. It all just fell together because a friend introduced me to somebody. And now something that in my mind I thought would be really fun to do, I'm doing with a group of really amazing and dynamic people who are already doing something similar. And while I'm chatting, is anyone type in a collaboration that you guys have done while I'm kind of finishing this list that might inspire you. So Chris, get ready to give us some chat options.
All right.
Another one is there's a frozen custard place that just opened in this vintage building. And I have this infrared image I took of this building before they redid it, and I printed it and framed it and I brought it to the owner because I felt like that image belonged to him because that building belonged to the community. And now we do all these fun collaborations and he lets me, I'm the only photographer who uses and his place to do Santa pictures, totally random, just wanted to give him this photo. Curated gift box sets. I print a lot of note cards, the Scout Guide. And lastly, a friend of mine started a Be the Good project, which provides food and dry goods for families in need. And I do a lot of photography for them. So Chris, take it away with like 5. Is anyone typing any examples?
Yeah, we've got Katie that said Monday's Child Wall Portrait Gallery. So
that's great.
That she's coordinating with. That's all that's typed in
that's
so far.
awesome.
Oh, Heidi's doing Front Steps project.
Okay, good. If you guys get yourselves out there in those community spaces, you're going to meet people that you love because you live in a community you love. There's a coffee shop right next door. You know what I should put on my short-term list? Walk next door to the coffee shop and say, hey, I have some photographs of our local area. You have a whole blank wall. Could I hang them on there? I go in there like every week for coffee. So start thinking about these things that are right in front of you. Another woman who I'm a friend with does a fundraiser for the Humane Society, and now she photographs all these dogs off things. So, okay.
Yeah. Heidi's saying honor flight she really enjoys. Ashley's
Oh,
doing working with other local photographers, doing a fire district calendar where they each were
cool. You guys keep that up.
station.
That's where it's at. And then people are going to create buzz about what you're doing. And then you're going to get referrals because people are going to be like, oh my gosh, Katie was photographing at the firehouse and she was so nice and she was so good. We went over to watch the firemen and she was chatting with my kids, or she was so great with the dog, or whatever. I mean, but put yourself out there, you guys. People are people. So connect with them.
Awesome. And we are just about out of time.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Shine bright, you guys. Be happy. Do personal projects. There's so much more I didn't even get. Okay. What I want you guys to do when you get off tonight is, will you guys please write yourself a letter and tuck it away? And you don't have to open it, but tuck it away somewhere where you'll find it again, and remind yourselves of where you are right now and what you love about your life, and then the things you want to do. And then seal it up and put it in a drawer. And maybe in 6 months and maybe in a year or 2 years, you're going to find this letter and you're going to smile. You're going to think about this night, and you're going to think about the bee, because you're going to begin, become, and believe. And so this is what you've done here tonight. You've created a guideline for yourself to be who you are. So I wish you the best of luck as you begin, become, and believe. I thank you for having me. I love getting to share my adventure and my journey, and I love hearing about yours. And I just know you guys are all you're gonna be amazing.
Oh, that was a lot of fun, Renee. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to my sponsors. And here's all my info, you guys. Reach out if I can ever do anything to help you.
Awesome. And I'm also going to send you Renee's contact information and the follow-up email as well. But before we get to that, let's look at the specials that we got. So this is from ACI, and this is a crazy good special here. You're going to want to screenshot this. It's also going in the email going out, but you can get 50% off of one order. That's limited to one order only. But use that code on there using ACI Flex. That is awesome deal. Also want to let you know about some upcoming shows we've got. We've got Michael here. He's going to be doing still life light painting, and Marissa doing personal branding. So going to be on the lookout for those coming up. And if anybody here is interested in being a guest on the show, so sharing some information or have an idea of something that you'd like to see on there, shoot me an email so we can connect. So now let's give away some prizes, because that's the fun stuff. Up first, I've got a $50 lab credit to ACI, and we're going to do our fun wheel and see who that winner is. If I can get my mouse. There's my mouse. Okay, there we go. And it's Carrie. Congratulations, Carrie. All right, we've got a $75 lab credit now, so let's see who that winner is. And the wheel is spinning. And we got Cindy. All right, we got one more prize to give away, and that's a $100 lab credit to ACI. $100. We'll see who that one is. And it's Ron. Congratulations, Ron. All right, so we've given away all of our prizes. You know about all the specials, so all we have left to do is hear some parting thoughts from Renee. Any last message that you want to give out to everybody before we head out for the evening? Start reflecting on everything?
Yes, I make the time to move forward with these things we talked about. Take this as your opportunity to transition into that next phase wherever you are. And remember, you guys, find joy and love in all the things you do, because that will shine through in your work and your personal life. And thank you for having me. It really was truly a pleasure to be here. And I hope to see you guys all at imaging.
Yay. So
Thank
we'll
you,
keep
Chris.
that napkin list handy.
Yes, keep your napkin list handy. And don't forget to write your letter to yourself. You surprise yourself how fun it is to find it. Right,
All right.
exactly when you're supposed to.
Thank you so much, Renee. It's been fun and very inspirational tonight. Always puts a
Thank
smile
you,
on my
guys.
face hanging out with you. And I'm sure that you're doing that to
Thank you.
others as well. All
Awesome.
right.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
guys.
night, everybody.